I have a guest alternate facts storyteller, and you would happen to be...
I'm your kid.
You might. I think I gave you a name when you were born.
My name is Adeline.
Thank you, Adeline. And you have an alternate fact story about St. Mary's for us. And these two lovely people are... Dan and...
Teresa.
Dan and Teresa. Teresa, can you come back here so you're not standing in front of Dan? He's so short you'd never see him. Anyway, so we're going to give you the story, and you're going to determine whether or not it is true or an alternate fact for fabulous prizes courtesy of St. Mary's Ford. So, Adeline, please give us the story this week.
The Faculty of Medicine at the Western University of London, Ontario was founded in 1881. The Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry, as it is called today, is one of the most recognized medical programs in the country. In the late 1800s, cadavers, or the bodies in which medical students used to practice their medical studies, were in very short supply. Cadavers were not supplied by the institutions, so most of the time students were left to their own devices. In fact, a very common method to obtain a cadaver was to go to your local graveyard and dig up a fresh corpse. It's true. Or is it? While this was and is still a crime, many medical students performed this grisly act, and even if they were caught, most were usually just given a slap on the wrist. Members of the public were very sympathetic to their cause. They just didn't want them digging up and practicing on their Aunt Sally. Okay? As a means to protect the recently buried, dearly departed, officials in London began to step up their security at the local graveyards. So, two medical students decided to travel to St. Mary's to see if they would have more luck finding a cadaver without issue. And they did just that. They managed to unearth a freshly buried body in town, and they began to head back to London. However, they decided to stop at an inn on the way home to get a bottle of whiskey and calm their nerves a little bit. It was their first time stealing a body, after all. As they went into the inn, they didn't see a man by the name of Jack Henderson approach their carriage, but he knew exactly what these two were doing, so he decided to take this opportunity to teach the two a little lesson. So he took the body down from their carriage and he put it in his own. He then removed the long coat and hat they had disguised upon the body, and he put it upon himself. He climbed into their carriage, and he sat down and sat very quietly. The two men returned from the inn not long afterwards. Didn't notice anything was any different. The first man popped open the bottle of whiskey, had a drink. The second man took the bottle, had a drink as well, and then he thought it would be hilarious to offer their third friend a drink. When the bottle was brought to Jack's lips, he grabbed the bottle, thanked the man, and he had a drink. And that's when the two of them dashed out of the carriage into either direction and were later captured by the authorities. So what we want to know, is this a true story of St. Mary's, or is this, in fact, an alternate fact?
Alternate.
Alternate fact. Now, why would you distrust my daughter so? You look at me and said, I don't even have to answer that question.
I would say it's true.
You say it's true. And why would you say it's true, sir?
It looks like it's on the internet. It must be true.
Absolutely. When you see it on the internet, it must be true. It must be true. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for you to register your opinion. What do you think? True or alternate fact? True. Sound like majority was true, but I really don't know. And perhaps our storyteller here can reveal the answer.
This did not happen in St. Mary's. So it is an alternate fact, but this whole story did take place in Kingston, Ontario, which is where I live. And you can hear this tale in its whole entirety if you come to the Haunted Walk of Kingston, which I also work at. And we have some fabulous ghost passes for the winners today to come on our tours. We're also found in Ottawa and Toronto and Kingston. And we always all end our tours by saying sweet dreams to everybody. So remember that story when you're falling asleep tonight, okay?
So it's an alternate fact for St. Mary's, but it's true that it actually happened in Kingston. So we're not going to split hairs. You're both going to be winners today.
Thank you.
So we're giving you a choice of one of these gentlemen first here. There we go.
Give me the smaller one.
Oh, okay. let's not. Okay, there we go. You might have to share with someone else then at that point. And so, as we said, we're also giving away the passes for Haunted Walk in Kingston and Toronto. So, Ottawa. And Ottawa. So you'll get those from Addie later.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. And that's our episode of Alternate Facts for the final season. Thank you. Final show.
I
not
was
of the
working
season.
in the lab
Thank you,
late
Addie.
one night when my eyes beheld an hideous sight. From the monster from his lab began to rise. Then suddenly, to my surprise, she did the... What's that? Thumb on it? It's a graveyard smash. It cut on with a flash. She did the monster.
Done? There we go.
How about a nice hand for that lovely lady?